Hello students, my name is Shesi George, your professional accounting teacher. Before you continue with this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my videos. Thank you. Alright, let's get started. In this video, we are going to look at the concept of replacement analysis. Let's take, for example, you have an old asset and you are considering the optimum time. That is the best time to replace these old assets, to replace these old assets with a new one. So what would be the optimum time to do that? So replacement analysis is a technique, it's a quantitative analysis or a quantitative techniques that determines the best time, the optimum time to replace an old asset with a new one. Okay, the objective of this is to minimize cost of replacements, okay, and to maximize efficiency of the assets. That's the objective, to minimize costs and to maximize efficiency of the assets. Okay, now based on these facts, the assets are classified into two. Number one is sudden failure. Okay, that is, they are assets that fail suddenly. Example includes electric bulbs, transistors in a big machines, computers, television sets. They can fail suddenly. Okay, that is sudden failure, replacement of assets that fail suddenly. That's sudden failure. And number two, assets that deteriorates gradually. That's gradual deterioration. All right, gradual deterioration. Like all these big machines, they continue to lose their value as we use them, and at the same time, the maintenance costs begin to increase. So replacement analysis, we use it to determine the best time to replace such assets. The efficiency of the assets that deteriorates begin to reduce. So in order to maximize the efficiency is to replace them with new one. All right, so we use this analysis. It's a model that we use to determine the optimum time. That's the best time to replace the old asset with new one. The aim, like I said, is to minimize the cost and to maximize the efficiency of those assets. Okay, so let's look at a question. But before then, let's look at sudden failure. Under the sudden failure, we have two replacement policy. Number one is either to replace individual replacement, or to replace in group replacement policy. So these are the two policies. For individual replacement, what it means is that as the asset fails suddenly, we replace them immediately. As it fails, as a bulb, for example, electric bulb fails or stop working, we replace it immediately. This is one. Or we wait till the end of the period, we replace them as they fail. So by the end of each period, for example, by the end of month one, by the end of the month, whether it fails or not, all the bulbs within the building will be replaced. All the transistors inside the machine will be replaced. That is group replacement. Group. So these are the two policies, and we are going to form a model for them. So for individual replacement policy, we need to determine the average cost per month or per week or per period, and this is the formula. Okay, individual replacement policy, we have average replacement cost per period will be total number of items under consideration divided by average lifespan of the item, multiplied by individual replacement costs per item. That is for individual replacement. But for group replacement, we have average costs. Please write it down. Average costs of average replacement cost will be cumulative number of replaced items from period 1 to end period, okay, multiplied by individual replacement cost per item plus total number of items under consideration multiplied by group replacements per item, group replacement cost per item. So these two, to replace, probably there will be a discount if you are replacing in en masse. All right, so I'm going to, let's quickly use a question to illustrate these two concepts. All right, pause the video and read through this question. Now the question is always similar. You'll be given the months after replacement: month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. So we have 4 periods in a year. So cumulative percentage of failure has been given. Cumulative, take note. Cumulative is given. Then we are told that it will cost 2,500 to replace individually, but to replace in group, it will cost 1,002. Of course, probably because of discount rate. We are replacing in group all the assets at a time. So this question is on sudden failure, okay? Then you are required to determine the cost of individual replacement or group replacement. Suggest the best replacement policy. Okay, so do this quickly. You have your solution to question 4. All right, so this is individual replacement policy. Individual replacements policy. Okay, individual replacement policy. All right, so the first thing is to determine the average lifespan. Okay, and to do that, you start with months. You have month 1, month 2, month 3, and month 4. Okay, month 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you have your cumulative percentage of failure. All right, and it's given to be 15, then 35, cumulative 35, 70, and 100. You are given cumulative, but you need to find the individual percentage of failure, the periodic failure for each period, percentage of failure, the percentage of failure. So for this is 15%, and this will give you 0.15. So for this, you subtract, you say 35 minus 15, and that is 20%, and that will give you 0.20. You subtract 35 from 70, and that gives 70 minus 35, and this gives 35%, which is 0.35. You subtract this, and that is 100 minus 70, and that gives 30%, and that's 0.30. Okay, after which you calculate the expected lifespan, and to do that, you have 1, that is 1 multiplied by 0.15, then 2 multiplied by 0.20, 3 multiplied by 0.35, 4 multiplied by 0.30, and this will give you 0.15. This will give you equals to 0.40. This will give you 1.05. This will give you 1.20. Then let's get the addition of this, will give you 2.80. So this is the expected lifespan. And don't forget that average replacement cost is the total number of items under consideration divided by average lifespan of the item multiplied by individual replacement cost per item. So for this question, the total number of items is 420, okay? Then the individual replacement cost is 25, all right? Will now be 420 divided by 2.8 multiplied by 2,500 naira, all right? And this will give us 375,000, okay? All right, okay? Now for B part, the B part deals with group replacements. Policy. Group replacement policy. So this will be done in the next video, okay? So please watch this video. You can replay it, and please like my video. Once you watch this video, please like it and share it to your friends, if you understand. So for the group replacement, will be done in part 2 of this video, okay? Thank you.